What is good, Master Debaters? We are back. We are ready to go. I'm a little tired, long weekend, but I got this in hand to give me a little energy. If you've never had a long drink, get yourself some of these. They're very tasty. I'm going to turn Deon on to these when he get here like he's a 13-year-old white boy on the playground. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time.
The way you framed it makes me never want to put that to my lips ever. Thank you.
It's going to be a good time tonight. It's going to be a good time. My brother comes down here to hang out for a little while. I'm Sidney Smith. That's my brother, my co-host, Mr. Deon Curry. We are the duo that brings you Not As Debatable every single Monday. I shouldn't say that. A lot of Mondays. All right, because
most Mondays.
Most Mondays, because every time we miss a Monday or two here and there. But it's gonna be a good time, man. Deon, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. Happy Monday to everybody. Had a good weekend. My dad's birthday was on Saturday. He would have been 63. So
happy birthday, Marine.
Yeah. It was weird. We watched the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight with my brothers. That was fun. If you can call an ass whooping fun, because that's literally what it was. Me and my brothers played against my niece Camille and my brother's wife Nicole and my other brother's girlfriend Miranda in darts, and they beat the shit out of us twice. So that was not fun.
So y'all Errol Spence in darts.
Yeah. No, it was no. To be fair, it was a lot closer. They went down to right. Basically. We couldn't get a bullseye, and that's the reason why we lost.
But you were able to put a glove on. But you were able to put a glove on somebody.
Yeah. They had some bruises. I mean, it wasn't. We didn't lose every round. So there's that. But yeah, had an overall good weekend, and I'm happy to be here. I'm feeling good, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm really feeling good too. Had a great weekend at Stir Crazy with one of my big comedy brothers, Big Iris J. He brought one of my little comedy brothers, Justin Tejan, in from Vegas. Good to see him. And then to see an up-and-coming comedy little brother, Bubba McCombs, hosting. So we had a great weekend. I felt on fire. Deon, you know when you're getting ready to shoot your special or shoot whatever you're getting ready to shoot with material you've been working. And for folks out there who don't know, we get tired of our own shit. And we be ready to move on. Like, I'm already writing new shit for 2024 and working it out now. And so I'm mixing it in. I'm like, man, you get so tired. Maybe I want to use that with the old thing. Like, you got to really pull back on using the new shit now, but working it out. So it was a good weekend. Had a good time. A lot of good folks. Shout out to everybody who bought tickets and came out. You know, it's been great the last few months. No one's been asking me for shit, so that's been nice.
You gotta love when people aren't begging for your time, energy, or resources. Excuse me. Mary wants to know the name of that drink.
Mary came out with Ed, long drink, that's what it's called. And Mary came out with Ed as she always does, or I should say most often does. So it was good to see Mary Ballard come out with Ed. Good friends. They went from fans to friends, and I love when that happens. I've had that happen a few times over my career, and it's just the best when that happens, when you can have people who enjoy what you do. And you just somehow, some way, you become pals. So it's good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you can meet someone who appreciates what you do, but understands what you do and not who you are, and they're not weird afterward, that to me, that helps build long-lasting relationships. I love when you can go from fan to friend, but a lot of the times, people who are fans don't treat you as if you're a human. And they kind of idolize you, and they make it awkward because, you know, they see you as some level above them or whatever. And it just, to me, that's the worst. I hate when fans want to be friendly, but they don't know how to just be chill. You know what I mean? Just be like regular, like they make it weird. And because that's always happened to me quite a lot.
It's always been on the verge of being weird / annoying. Like, you don't want to be rude and just leave the conversation. So you try to stay, you try to help it along as best you can and hope that this conversation dies of its own and you can just walk away. Because it's tough. But Mary and Ed are great. And if anyone out there who bought tickets and came to the show is watching, you're great too. I'm not talking about you.
Marshawn Mitchell says, yo.
What up, Marshawn Mitchell? Gotta see that mofo sometime soon. Danielle says, Deon, I just had a bunch of White Claws this weekend. So good. Why you keeping that a secret? LOL. Keep it a secret.
How long have we been doing this podcast?
I got a fucking. We created a shirt based off of Deon drinking White Claws.
What are you telling on yourself, Danielle? It means you ain't been watching.
Boom. You know what? I haven't done one of these in a while, or maybe you haven't earned one in a while. But you got
it's definitely you haven't done one in a while.
Whoa.
I'll be earning them every show. Every show.
Whoa. Mary says Friday night was great energy. Yeah, the whole weekend was a lot of fun for me, Mary. I love it. The wife wasn't very happy, or as she usually is with my set, but I had a good time. Danielle says, Sid, are you ever going to make your way back to Michigan to do your comedy thing? We miss your face over here. Danielle, no. So I'm just kidding. I don't know, Danielle, you know what? I feel like when I come home, I'm just taking time away from work to talk to people about the same thing, which is why I always invite people to come out here, if that makes any sense at all. But who knows? I'll probably get back. I haven't been home in 4 years, so I'm due for a visit. I haven't been home in a while.
Got to register to vote.
What? Deon and I were talking, and I'm sorry if I seem low energy, guys. I'm a little tired. But Deon and I were talking in our pre-show meeting. Somehow we spun off into, yes, Jamboozy's Day. That's where we were at. I was just talking about that shit last night, Dale. We spun off into talking about Catch a Predator, and we said we're going to talk about it a little bit up front. I'm sure you guys remember the show. Lotus is with us, too. I want to make sure I give Lotus a shout out. What up, Lotus? I ain't seen you in a minute, girl. Thanks for popping on in here. Deon and I were just talking about some of our favorite things from that show, and one of mine was how often the guys would run out the door like they've never seen an episode of this show, and they didn't know that the sheriff was out there waiting to tackle their asses and manhandle them. Like no one's going to get it worse than a child predator of any sort, whether you be a rapist or just a molester or a creepy ass uncle. There's no point in running. Just throw yourself on the ground and hope they don't kick you. What are you doing?
So the episode I was watching today, because it popped up in my Facebook reels, the guy brought over pizza and wings, and he's talking to the little decoy or whatever, right? So he's like, you want to put on a movie? She's like, yeah, I'll be right back. So he starts to follow, and as they all do. And then Chris pops out, hey, why don't you have a seat right here? And he's like, okay, is it cool if I get something to eat? So he starts eating pizza. He folds the pizza like a hot dog, is eating it while Chris Hansen's fucking grilling him about all this 200-page or 200 text message exchanges that I had with the decoy. The guy was like, well, I didn't come here to do anything other than, eat the pizza. And he's like, so then Chris Hansen hits him with us. So why did you say right here that you need me to bring condoms? It's like,
you know what? I'm not one for child predators, but let me give him 1 point. At least he knew he was going to jail, and there ain't no pizza at county. So let me go ahead and get in on his pizza and wings.
He bought he thought, because she said she wanted a small pizza, so he thought he was going to get one of the personal paying ones, but they didn't have them. So the small pizza looked like a large. He ate like 5 slices of that motherfucker while Chris Hansen is like, you shouldn't have said this, right? You shouldn't have said this. Why are you here again? He just...
The only bad thing is when he gets to county, he's got to be in that holding cell with all them homeboys. So he has to take that pizza cheese shit. Nobody's gonna like that at all. No, man. My favorite dudes are the ones that show up like ready to go. The condoms, the liquor. Like they brought all the stuff you're not supposed to bring to an underage girl, and have no real way out of this conversation on why you got a box of condoms, a 6-pack of malt liquor and some Hennessy. What were you doing? What were you thinking?
Nah. I always drive 2.5 hours to underage people's house just to hang out and spread the word and gospel. There was one dude who's like, there's this one dude, he barely spoke English. He was like, yeah, I'm here to help her study. I'm like, bro, if you don't get your ass the fuck out of here, you don't even speak English.
You know what's crazy? You just touched on it. These motherfuckers be driving the longest distances. The longest.
I can't get locked up in my own county.
I wouldn't drive that far for a legal piece of ass. 2.5 hours? Please.
One guy brought a marriage contract because he knew it was illegal. He was like, well, if you sign this, we can. I'm like, bro.
Anyway, sorry I didn't mean to take you guys down memory lane, but we were talking about it pre-show, and we were just, great. Danielle says, piece of cheese shit. Lotus says, TNT movie Sounds of Freedom is amazing, speaking of Predators. Okay, that's the one that everyone keeps having the post about how they think people are trying to keep them from seeing it. Have you heard about that, Deon?
No. What is this?
The movie Sounds of Freedom. I think it's talking about trafficking kids, and I keep seeing all these people with these posts. I don't know if they're real or not, saying how they feel like someone's trying to keep them from watching this movie. Hollywood is trying to keep it from being played. Like they're showing up to theaters and the film isn't working and all these different things. All the lights go out, the power goes out. just Lotus. I know I'm laughing, but honestly, God, I want to know: did you have any issues there at the theater? Did the power go out and you had to sit there and wait? Did you feel like they were trying to keep you from watching the movie? Slim is on with us. Slim says, "What up, though?"
I heard about it.
Yeah. I'm surprised. As much as you be on Twitter and whatnot, I'm surprised.
No, I haven't seen anything about it. But what's funny is the government is involved in all that stuff. It's involved in gun trafficking. It's involved in drug trafficking. I'm sure it's involved in child trafficking. I'm just saying. You saw what Reagan did with the what's it called?
Iran Contra.
Yeah. If you think the government don't know, you crazy. They know everything.
I just know
they know about the aliens. They know about the vaccines. They know about all that stuff. One thing is they ain't dumb.
I just got done saying to you, can we stop with the vaccine? I have so many friends who are still talking about COVID and the vaccine. I'm seeing clips of Biden standing up at the podium. They're calling him a lot. Let it go. If you took the vaccine and you're alive, God bless you. If you decided not to take it, you're still alive, God bless you. Slim with his paranoid ass is over here saying, high five Deon. So... I'm
just saying, I want my superpowers. I was promised laser beam eyes or metal claws or healing abilities, and I ain't getting none of that. I still got to wait in line to get Starbucks. I want my superpowers, goddammit.
I'm gonna tell you what, I'm with you on the superpowers as long as you don't give me that whack-ass storm power.
Well, you don't want to control the weather?
Bro,
you save a great deal on your heating bill.
It takes a half a day to get the fucking power amped up. I gotta wait for her to float up in the air. I gotta wait for her eyes to roll back in the head like she's having an orgasm. I got to wait for her to start shaking. And then something fucking happens and normally it's just a big ass gust of wind. No, that's a whack ass superpower.
It could be worse. You could be Jubilee and just shoot fireworks out your fingers.
Gambit. Danielle says, Deon facts. No facts there. Danielle.
If you think the government doesn't know about all this stuff, you are out of your mind.
They know about a lot of things. I'm not saying they're ignorant of things, but I'm just saying, can we stop with the conspiracy theories?
It's not a conspiracy. The United States government is in control of all the trafficking that happens in this country, whether it's commerce, whether it's people, whether it's drugs. They know what's going on. The border patrol agents know who's coming and when they're coming. They know.
I can't wait to come by your house later in life and you're just in your underwear and socks going out to get the fucking paper out the front lawn.
No, I'll be wearing a tinfoil hat. Thank you very much.
I know, fucking tinfoil lined up on the windows and shit.
I still ain't got my superpowers.
Oh boy, Aaliyah Craig is back. What's up, Aaliyah? She say Deon is spitting. You never know if Aaliyah is even on until she wants to root some of the silliness from Deon on.
Look, man.
Thanks for
I'm
being with
not.
us, though, Aaliyah. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I thank you, Aaliyah. But I'm not a big conspiracy guy. I'm just saying you're naive if you think the government don't know.
Whoa. We're not going to use the N word.
Yeah, you heard me say it.
Jeez.
For the cheap seats, naivete.
Yeah, that's what you get for that one.
Yeah, that's what you sound like when you talk about, no, the government would never do such a thing.
That ain't what I said. That's not what I said. I said, let's just stop with the conspiracy theory.
What you're saying.
Everything is not a conspiracy theory. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all the people at the top roll in the same circle. Do they not? So you telling me all the people that went to Epstein Islands don't know all the people who didn't go to Epstein Island? Is that what you're telling me? They all work together.
How we jump to Epstein Island?
I'm just because you talk about trafficking. That man had information on everybody, and he mysteriously kills himself. And you think they don't know? Like, come on, man.
Learn the lesson from Epstein. Stop talking.
Well, come get me.
Have your ass up in county after you eat some pizza.
we're dealing with the past the point of no return with global warming anyway, so I don't give a good goddamn.
Look, Danielle says conspiracy theories are probably closer to the truth than we realize. Then Aaliyah says, and if you're out there listening to us, Aaliyah said it. Aaliyah Craig, AALIYAHCRAIG. She said it. She said, look at Oprah. Aaliyah, I want to take a moment, just very quickly, to have you follow that up with what do you mean by that? Because you're saying something about Oprah. All right, I don't want you to go on to Tyler Perry next. Don't you do a Monique on the show. So let us know what you mean by Oprah. Let us discuss it really quickly and let us move on. But Aaliyah, I do want to give you that chance to get yourself off the Oprah hook.
Everybody knows when she get part of the machine, you got to be how the machine operates.
Aaliyah says she's involved with all the madness. All right, that's it. We're moving on. All right. Just about to have the show shut down. All my power shut off. Snatch to the van, take it away. Oprah and Gail driving. What are you doing? I did see a video Oprah put up on IG, and she's at the Beyonce concert, which I'm not the biggest fan of Beyonce, but I do want to go to a concert. I do like a few of her songs. I heard she puts on a good show, but I didn't see Stedman, so he wasn't at the show.
Nah, he was at Fire Festival with Ja Rule.
Danielle said Sid just tossed Aaliyah under the bus. No, I didn't. I just wanted to make sure that they didn't get the wrong Aaliyah when they went to snatch Aaliyah. So I no reason why some innocent Aaliyah who loves Oprah they get snatched off the street into a dark van with no windows.
I gotta ask you this, since we're talking about conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. You know, Jamie Foxx just made that movie. The what's it called? The Clones.
Yeah, they cloned Tyrone.
They cloned Tyrone, right?
Yeah. Uh-oh. I don't think it's me this week. I see Aaliyah gave me 3 laughing, crying emojis over here, so I appreciate that. We're going to drop Deon off real quick, let him come back up and join us. All right, there we go. Right, Mary? We talk conspiracy theories, then the show freezes. Makes me wonder. No, Mary, that's not what happened. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. Talking about Aaliyah's like, right, Mary. You know, Aaliyah, you brought this on by talking that Oprah Winfrey stuff. Hey, bro, the ladies of the show are getting real conspiracy theorists. Aaliyah's leading the way, though. Well,
I don't doubt it. I'm just saying.
Okay, I got an echo now.
We can move on.
I got an echo now. Can you hear me without one?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
You got an echo. Go on.
You need me to drop off and come back?
Yeah. All right, folks, thank you for your patience. Deon's going to come back, and we're going to keep the show moving. I want to hear his questions he's going to ask me, and then I want to jump into the rest of the show. But I want you guys to keep going with your comments. You guys help drive the show, as you always do. Deon?
It's part of the issue of doing with a live show. Sometimes you got to...
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let me see here. And I'm not quite sure why I'm getting an echo out of you.
You still got an echo?
Yeah, with you. Hey, is anyone else hearing the echo, or is it just me? Because if it's just me, we'll move on. Can you guys hear echo with Deon at all? Mary?
Yeah.
Aaliyah?
Mic test 1 2 1 2. Can you hear an echo? Let me know. Put a 1 in the comments. I'm hearing the echo now.
Are you hearing it now?
On your end, yeah. Mary says no echo.
Okay, so they're not getting one. You want to try to push through?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, so go ahead. What was your question you was about to hit me with?
No, I forgot what I know we were talking about
conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah, the Jamie Foxx thing. So
yeah.
They're saying that he's a clone now, and I was having a conversation with one of my other co-hosts on a different podcast, and I was asking him, like, why would they just clone Jamie Foxx? Why not clone Tupac? Why not clone Biggie? Why not clone Aaliyah? Why not clone Prince? Why not clone Michael Jackson? Why not clone all these superstars who can still make money? I'm sure there's Elvis's sweat somewhere that you could suck up and put in a petri dish and grow another. Like, why not bring back all these other people? Why would you, like, it just doesn't make, that to me is one of the dumbest conspiracy theories out there.
It is dumb because what is the reason for cloning them? I've never heard anyone give a reason. Just throw shit out. That's a clone. For what? What's the purpose? As I heard someone say, why would they, if they're gonna clone someone, why would it be a black guy? They're not gonna clone a black guy. they try to get rid of us.
You know why? You know why it would be a black guy. You gotta test this shit out first. Make sure that off switch still works.
You say Tom Cruise and they were behind this. So he can keep making Mission Impossible to the end of the world.
Like, man.
No, I don't. I think it's absolute foolishness. But that's my problem with conspiracy theories is people are always looking for something else, for something to mean something else. Everything doesn't always mean something else. Sometimes it's just what's in front of you. Just what's in front of you.
I am cool with healthy conspiracy theories, ones that make sense, like, was 9/11 an inside job? Okay, we can have that conversation. But just randomly cloning famous black people so that they, like, it just, to me, it's like, why would NASA keep the flat Earth a secret from, like, you know what I mean? Like, why?
The flat Earth.
There's people who don't believe in dinosaur bones, right? Like, why would they plant all these old ass bones in the ground and make them out of plastic and whatever else you believe they're made out? Like, for what?
People are nuts, man. People are absolutely nuts. Said is with us. He said, "What it do? What it do?" Said, thanks for being back again. Comedian August O'Neill says, "Holla sucker, your ass back." The fake ass book club is with us. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, ladies. Nice to have you back.
What up, Kat? What up, Moni? Whichever one or both of y'all are watching.
I bet you it's Kat. I got $2.83. Says it's Cat.
I will see your 283 and not raise.
All right. Oh, that's too rich for my blood.
Yeah, I
can't. Push back from the table. Comedian August O'Neill says, I drove by the grassy knoll yesterday. Oh, that's right. You were in Texas. And says it's the summer. I'm slow moving right now. I know that's right, brother. Everybody is. Everybody's slow moving. It's hot. I think we was only 115 today, so that was a nice breezy day for us in Phoenix.
My friend sent me a meme on IG. Said, "You ever gave head underneath the comforter? That's how it feels outside."
What? Whose wife came home that you had to be under the comfort, still giving head?
I mean, when you were, 17, 18 years old, you still lived at your parents' house. Some people try to sneak it. I'm sure Danielle has a story or two to tell us about.
I'm telling you right now, any girl that was in my room when my mother just came to do a surprise inspection, if she couldn't see that bra and I was under the covers, we both about to have a bad day. This ain't about to be. Where's Monique? Oh, I don't know. I don't fuck.
Let me ask you this hypothetical. All right. So let's hypothetically, you have a child. There's
uno momento. Okay. Fake ass book club is attacking me. You coming for me, Cats? Cat says Sid was right for once. It's Cat. Cat, you get The bicycle horn. Boom. That's how we play around these streets. I'm sorry, Deon, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is a hypothetical. Say you have a 16, 17-year-old son or daughter, right? They have a boyfriend or girlfriend. You're cool with their parents. You've met, you know each other. Your kids have been together for a while. Your child stays at their house. Their child stays at your house from time to time, just hanging out or whatever. Mm-hmm. You walk in on them doing what young people want to do, right? What is your reaction to that? Are you upset? Are you slapping hands? What is Sidney doing?
Okay, so first let me be honest. Is it a son or a daughter? I didn't catch that part. Did you say whether you want to?
You get to pick because I want to hear this sexist shit that you're about to say.
It ain't about to be sexist, not at all. If it's my daughter, I'm about to lose my motherfucking mind. Boy, it's about to be all bad. You're not
about to be a girl fight.
You ain't about to treat my daughter the way I treated somebody else's daughter. This ain't about to this ain't even happening. And I'm in the house? Nah, hell no. If it is my son, man, I'm probably gonna whoop his ass too, because you ain't about to have no kids up in my house, bro. Ain't nobody, don't know, but you know the rule at my house, Deon. Don't nobody have more sex in my house than I do. All right, so that's a wrap. So he gonna have a problem too. Deon knows the house rule. He gets the same house rule when he comes here.
You kind of saved it, but no, I just, I love Joanne's comment.
What was it?
She says, I throw condoms in the room and run. I got boys, though.
Like a grenade. Just take off. And August has got a son. August, what are you doing if your roommate has a woman up in there? He's wearing his ascot and in there with his Hefner robe. Oh, trying to get it in if you ain't at home.
Depending on the age, I don't think I would be upset. If they were 12, 13, 14, I'd be mad. But after 16, I'm like, I get it. Cut it out.
With a daughter? With a daughter?
Daughter or son?
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
It would make no. If you have a daughter, you got to know what's going to happen eventually. She ain't.
Not under this roof. And not at that age. You better, look. The most respect you can give
toxic masculinity.
No, when you say call it whatever you want. The most respect you can give your parents, I don't care if you are a male or a female, is to lie and act like you're not doing the shit that you're doing. That is the do it blatantly in the bedroom when I'm in the house. I didn't give a double standard, Danielle. I said I'm fighting if it's my daughter in there. And I'm whooping his ass if it's my son. Nope, same rules. Not up in here. Not up in here.
I don't think I would be that upset. As long as they were 16 or older,
Absolutely not.
I just because I think back to that time and I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20, but I was trying to give it away. Don't get me wrong. I was, I was out there. So it wasn't and I just, I feel like you should be able to have that conversation with your parents. They should, I don't think you should necessarily get in trouble for it. But at the same time, if you screaming and hollering and I can hear the headboard, I don't want that going on.
What? Ugh. Look, man, like I said, not in my house, all right? Don't nobody eat my last piece of chicken. Don't dip into my long drinks. And don't nobody fucking here but me. All right, so absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, you're gonna be out of town for a weekend. You got the house to yourself. You don't expect your kid or your son or your daughter to.
That's when I fly their grandparent in. It's the weekend. I fly my mother in with her Bible.
Sidney got a 17-year-old with a babysitter.
It's just their grandmother. She wants to come and have Bible camp with them for a couple weeks. Put that Christian guilt in them. We go to some comments here. Danielle says, only thing I told my oldest, don't bring me home no little fucking trophies. My mother said the same thing. That was an absolute no. Mother was the one who gave me the best little talk she could, which was, Yeah, here. I threw a bag that was condoms on it, and then walk out the fucking room. That was it. That was it. But I had older cousins and siblings that I had already kind of talked to about it, so I was cool. But I knew, no, there was to be no bras up in the bedroom unless Val was home.
We only had one sex talks as kids, and I wasn't even involved. I'm a year younger than my older brother, and this dumbass nigga left the condom in the pants that my mom washed. And so obviously the condom came out of the pocket in the washing machine, and she's transferring clothes. She sees. So we all got to have to sit down and have a sex talk. I'm like, this ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm definitely not trying to have this conversation with my two older brothers sitting right next to me because we're just giggling the whole time. My mom's like, are you guys having sex? I'm like, we trying to. But you saw the condom wrapper still got a condom in it. So no, we not.
I'm putting forth my best effort, but no one's picking up when I buy.
I can't hit the curveball. I gotta go back to bat practice.
I tried everything that they said in Playboy. In all of the letters.
I gotta tell this story. I think I was either junior or senior in high school, and it was senior skip day. We all go to the giant park and have this big water balloon fight, right? And we go back to this chick's house, and that was the one day I don't have a condom on me. The one day I don't have a condom on me is the one day in high school where this girl was going to get me some. She's like, "You got a condom?" I'm like, no. So I didn't get none. I carried around a grape flavored condom for like
what?
2 months. 2 months.
Wait. You, for somebody who hadn't got any, you really had some high hopes of what was going to go down.
It wasn't my condom. It was a gift from one of my older brother's friends.
Grape flavored. You got
to keep it black, brother.
How long did you think you was gonna be able to hold that nut? You had enough experience only for one thing to happen.
I got mine. Hope you got yours.
Oh my God. Oh, it's great.
I carried that thing for like 2 months, hoping and wishing and praying. One time I didn't have it. Nope. That was a day.
Oh, that's too good. All right. Well, pineapple was the flavor I carried around, but
fuck you, man. Don't judge me.
That's what I do. That's what I do, man. You want from me? Aaliyah says, I agree with Deon. After a certain age, it's expected no matter how much we don't want to think about it. Aaliyah, I absolutely agree. I remember being a kid, absolutely, just not in my house. Ted says, toxic masculinity. Deon, that's why I fucks with you. Mary says, I agree with Sidney on one point. No one gets to have more sex in my house than me. See? And you, for that, ma'am, give an applause break. Aaliyah, I'm waiting for you to agree with me so I can give you an applause break. So, catch up with the rules of the show. Facebook user says, trying to give it away. Comedian.
That was David Greaves Jr.
Oh, David. Okay. What's up, Dave? Thanks for jumping in. Dave came and helped me out earlier today, so I appreciate him. August O'Neill says, I have never had sex in my parents' house ever. Me either. And
I have.
Never.
She was home, sleep. My first time and my only time, now that I think about it.
It's not a grape flavor. He's over here dying. Leah screaming about the grape. It said, no sex in my crib, but me, sorry, I'm late. I'm assuming that's Dave as well.
No sex in the crib was Dave. Sorry, I'm late was Chelsea.
What's up, Chelsea? Oh, speaking of having sex in somebody in their parents' house, Chelsea arrives right on time. If there's anybody who watches the show who I would say did that as a teenager, Chelsea would be it. I would have laid money on Chelsea. When Chelsea's parents left for a weekend, Chelsea not only has sex in the house, but she threw a big ass party, big ass kegger. And she says, "You're right."
To be fair, I wasn't a teenager when I had sex in my mom's house. I was 20. So.
Kelsey, you get the trifecta tonight for being honest. You get the applause, you get the MJ, and you get the DJ. appreciate you for being honest, fam. Appreciate that.
Did you see her last comment?
They got a better bed. Hey, fucking this twin bed. Y'all ain't brought me a new mattress since I was 8. Fucking up my back on this.
That mattress loud as hell.
Fucking these screws in his headboard, they've been tightened. So I was in the 8th grade.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby.
Oh, my God. She still got the old school slacks. You got to go underneath it, try to put back under there. Oh, I used to hate them things. Katarina is with us. She said, "What up? What up, Katarina? Thank you for jumping in. Appreciate you for coming back." Katarina, we are talking about having sex in your parents' house. And Deon just letting everybody know about his grape flavored condom that he carried around in his wallet.
You didn't carry a condom around at all times when you were in high school?
Of course I did. But it was not flavored.
Look, man, you take what's available, okay?
You lucky you weren't able to use it. Probably had holes in it.
Probably.
It's not like one of them cheap ass condoms used to get in the little machine at the bar back in the day.
I can only imagine how terrible a grape flavored condom with a dick in it would taste. That would sound so terrible.
Like grape flavored teenage sweat.
I'm so glad I didn't use it now that I think about it. How awful. Oh.
D.I. will never live that down now, eh? Danielle says. And I'm
not ashamed.
You should be. Chelsea says they had a waterbed, laughed my ass off. I never ever had sex in a waterbed, but I could only imagine I would have hated it. I hated sitting on a waterbed. I couldn't imagine trying to have sex in a waterbed. Now, Mary says waterbeds were the best. I can imagine.
I'm so happy waterbeds were out of style by the time I lost my virginity.
I feel like you can only have sex on a waterbed in one position in missionary. Like you can't do anything. I can imagine.
You know what's popular is with the Mormons when they go soaking.
What? Oh my God. Let's see here. Deon would never live that up. Yep. Facebook user says it's like, I assume this is Chelsea, said it's like a fruit roll up.
Yep.
All right, Chelsea. Katarina says, I never had sex in my parents' house. Me either. That's what we're talking about. How do you know it was great? Because he said it was great. What are you trying to say? You trying to say Deon tested it out, Katarina? What you trying to say?
Yeah, the flavor on the label was great. It was a purple condom. It was great.
Danielle says, have you guys heard about the fruit roll-up trend? I have not.
If you read any of Danielle's posts on Facebook, you learn all sorts of nasty stuff.
I read some of the stuff. I can't read all of the stuff. I'm a married man.
Yeah.
And Mary says the waterbed helps no matter the position. I'm going to take your word for it since it's 2023. And I'm praying they never come back before I leave this earth.
I'd stand on the outside of the bed and she can have all the motion. I'm cool off that.
I'm telling you right now, I'm puking. It's not going to end well.
Getting seasick. It's not you, baby. It's the bed.
Katarina says, I had sex in the man's house. Laugh my fucking ass off, just not mine. Well, there you go, Katarina. I can appreciate that. I've done that too. So that I can appreciate. But I was not letting my mother catch me. My mother, that was back in the day when parents were still whooping other people's kids. So there's absolutely not. Had some woman today tell us some story about how her boyfriend's mother whooped her ass when she got caught giving head under a comforter.
That was back when TV used to go off and then be no more TV till the next day.
Got that fucking flag. You right about that. That was back when you got put on punishment. It was a real punishment. When my mother put you on punishment, everything came out the room. There was nothing in there but you and your thoughts and your nap times that you tried to squeeze in between reading books.
I was gonna say, boy, you get a new vocabulary every time you get on punishment because that's all you got is reading and coloring.
You were in your room with the door shut. There was no roaming around the grounds like you was in a federal penitentiary. in like you did a white collar crime. She treated you like you committed murder, like you on death row every time.
She would ground us from electronics, but we had a shit ton of GI Joes and wrestling figures. So that's all I would do between reading and playing with toys. That was all we could do. No going outside, no watching TV, no Nintendo, none of that.
Boring. Mary just said something I find to be possibly distressing. She said, "Great for hiding hooks and chains." What? She talking about?
Because Chelsea said they also had a mirror on the ceiling at her parents' bedroom. So,
Chelsea, this is all coming together now, girl. This is all coming together. All right, let's move on with the show. Here, try to squeeze in some of these topics before we have to end this darn thing. Let's go ahead and start with LeBron James and the school that he is helping to fund in Ohio. I think it's called the I Promise School.
Mm-hmm.
And
it is.
It looks like for the last 3 years, they have not had an 8th grader be able to pass the math portion of the state testing in Ohio. Now, this story is all set up for all kind of jokes about Ohio. All right, because I'm from Michigan. but I'm not gonna touch them. These are super easy jokes. And I'm not gonna make them because these kids are kids. When I first heard the story, Deon, and of course we want you guys to jump in. And if you haven't done so yet, please click the share button. Please click that share button. Deon, at first I was a little distressed by the information that for the last 3 years, not one 8th grader has passed the math portion of the state testing. But when I went back and I read the articles, this school was designed for students who were in jeopardy of falling through the cracks because they were behind. So maybe I should feel as distressed, but I'm not sure if I still do. What do you think? Thank you, Katarina.
For me, state testing is such a crock of shit at the end of the day. Like the standardized testing, whether it's English or math or science or history, none of that stuff really, really matters in the grand scheme of things. Now, granted, we don't want remedial people walking around day to day not knowing anything, but it's 8th grade. So it's not that big a deal. You still have plenty of time. You got another 4 years to get yourself on the right track. So for me, it's not that big of a deal, but having it consistent over 3 years, to me, that would be concerning. More or less, the students themselves is what is it in the curriculum, what is it in the faculty, what is it in the administration that for whatever reason, for 3 years in a row, they haven't had test scores go up or improve. Why is everybody failing? And do we need to fire the math teacher? Is he teaching them TikTok dances instead of long division? What is happening?
I think this also says something possibly about the school system as a whole, not just that particular school, that you have kids that are so far behind. If I remember correctly from a couple articles I read, like only 5 or 10% of the black students are even passing the state testing. Now, I'm with you. I think all standardized testing, whether it be state testing or SATs or ACTs, all of that is a little wonky. But you have to have kids who can read and who can do math on their level. And for 3 years, again, a little concerning, but if they're this far behind the kids you guys are trying to help, then I'm with Danielle who said, and Danielle, thank you for sharing with Chris. I hope he or she is enjoying the show. She said it takes time to make big changes to turn things around. I would agree with that. It's going to take a lot of time. Unfortunately, you couldn't help these first 3 years worth of 8th graders.
Hell, it took them 50 years to win an NBA championship, so I understand.
Oh, see.
Fuck Cleveland. To me, it's because it's the 8th grade. It's not that big a deal. Again, I think I agree with you that you want people to be able to read and do math on the level that they're supposed to be at. But if we're being completely honest, most Americans don't read at a level that they're supposed to be on. most Americans don't do math on a level they're supposed to be on. Our whole school system, whether it's this charter school or public school or even some private schools, not every student is going to be where they need to be. So this isn't, I don't want to say it's DEFCON 1, but at the same time, it is a little worrying. I'm not a fan of charter schools. I think they're a cash grab. But the fact that LeBron James's name is attached to the school, that's one of those things where you're like, this is supposed to be a shining beacon example. It's supposed to be exemplary. Why are you lacking in this area?
But it also becomes a problem on the financial side of things. LeBron's foundation gives $1.4 million a year to the school. The taxpayers are paying out $8 million a year for the school. So according to the leadership at the school, they obviously are very disappointed in the numbers because to them, they have the resources to help these kids do better than what they're doing. And they need to figure, and to their credit, they feel like they need to figure it out. But what's taking you so long? You had 3 years at this point. This is some shit that I should see a lean on me situation where Joe Clark is in there yelling at teachers and whatnot, like, get your shit together. Walking around with a megaphone. I can't
you smoke crack, don't you?
I can't have 13-year-olds who can't do simple math. And I'm calling this simple because I liked math as a kid. To Dana's point here, she says, what type of math? Basic math, algebra, geometry, as long as they can use a calculator. The state testing is designed for kids going to college. Teach them basic math and how to do taxes. I disagree with that, Dana. I think it has to be more than basic math. We never know where someone will end up in life and what they are going to need. To say that these kids are only going to need this because this is all we think they're going to end up wanting to do with it, I don't think it's fair. I don't think that's the right way to go with it.
In 8th grade, look, man, algebra had me in summer school. Geometry had me in summer school. I ain't used this since. Okay, so if you
haven't.
Exactly.
Right.
And anybody who's going to be using it is probably going to be good at it at some point. Correct? For the rest of us who sucked at it and hated it and thought it was dumb that we started mixing numbers and letters together, what the fuck is the alphabet sneaking in your parents' bedroom and having sex with 4 and -3? Make it make sense, okay? I'm like you. Ain't no letters having sex up in my house. Get this algebra shit out of here, okay? I don't play that. So I agree with Dana on that point. Basic math, you need it. Nowadays, all the information is on the internet anyway. Comprehension is the most important thing, not whether or not you can recite something that you learned on a test. Do you understand the material? For the basic concepts of what you need to function in a functional society. Do you understand public etiquette? Do you understand how people get from point A to point B? That's more important. I agree. You should be teaching, how to do your taxes. Yes. Okay. That's a useful life skill. But for the vast majority of people, geometry is not necessary. Algebra is not necessary. Calculus is not necessary. It's not. Who cares?
Aaliyah has not agreed with me one time. And Aaliyah, normally this does not happen. But I am going to give you an applause break before I read the comment because it made me laugh when I was listening to you, Deon. I was listening to you. She said, Mr. Sims.
Yeah, Mr. Sims. Mr. Sims. Sing a song.
Was that?
Sing a song right now. You smoke rock, don't you?
Fair East Side.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh my God. Why did your Morgan Freeman almost sound like you gonna slip into a Dave Chappelle? It's just
they're on the same octave.
Katarina says charter schools like privatized prisons are all about the money, in my opinion. Katarina, I would agree with you. And maybe my wife and I will talk about this on our podcast later this week. But I know she, as a educator in public school systems, she's staunchly against charter schools. And a lot of that is a lot of times if you weave through all the threads of the charter schools, there's people that shouldn't be a part of it making money off of it, like public officials, your governor, your state congressman or woman, and so on and so forth. Absolutely, Aaliyah. Absolutely. That was funny. And then Dana says, if it's a remedial school, basic math should be fine. Dana, I'm with you. They should at least know basic math, at least. But the one thing that you're not going to get away from when it comes to schools, public schools, charter schools, or anything along those lines in the state, is they're going to have to be able to pass the state testing because the school wants them to be able to pass. These schools stay out of trouble, make money based off of these kids being able to pass this test. So whether it's remedial math or basic math, whatever you want to call it, or something more advanced, you are going to have to get these kids up to standard so they can pass that test, or all of your asses are going to be in trouble.
I'm telling you right now, if they probably put one of those 8th grade standardized math tests in front of me, I probably wouldn't pass it either because you just don't use the shit. Its functionality is very specific when you're talking about what you use it for in life. And it's very select jobs where you need to know stats and statistics and if you're going into engineering, yes, you need to know that type of math. But the vast majority of us shaking our ass on TikTok, we don't need to know this shit.
I agree. So
all I need to know is 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, 4 + 4 = 56. You know what I'm saying?
Before we get out of here, I do want to try to touch on one more topic before we do. Mary says, I would want to see the test to determine how I feel about it. All right. I mean, Mary, I guess that's fair, but we all grew up taking standardized tests. I don't think it's going to be too far off. And I think the bigger thing is everyone kind of admits that this school is for students who are far behind. So, but I don't know how with all the money they have not been able to get these kids up to speed. If all the money is being thrown.
They're too busy playing Angry Birds on the iPads in the classes.
I can't believe they're still playing Angry Birds. All right, before we get out of here, Deon and I did want to touch on something, and we would love for you guys to jump in with us. Aaliyah, Mary, Danielle, Christopher, if you want to jump in as well. Dana, I know she hit you up by accident, but you are here, so you might as well play along, Chris. And anyone else is out there who's watching us right now. Pee Wee Herman passed away here, very recent. And
70 years old.
70 years old. Can't believe he was that old. Doesn't even seem like it. What I said to Deon when we were talking in pre-show was it always comes in threes. If you're from the South, if your family's from the South, if you grew up in a black family, I don't care. Maybe you heard your grandmother and your mom, they always said death comes in threes. And so I'm at the point where I pay attention now because, you know, I'm hoping that he don't take me too early. So when Tony Bennett went, then Sinead O'Connor went. I told my wife the other day, all right, one more's got to go. She's like, what do you mean? It always comes in threes. And 2 days later, Pee Wee Herman passes. So, you know, rest in peace to all three of them. Tony Bennett, Sinead O'Connor, and Pee Wee Herman. I have memories of all three. But I would like to ask, because he is so recent, what is your best memory, if you have one, of Pee Wee Herman? Paul Rubens.
For me, my best memory is Pee Wee's Playhouse. I mean, there were parts of the show that I absolutely loved and parts of the show that terrified me to my core. That fucking talking couch was creepy as shit. That pterodactyl was creepy as hell.
Yes.
Just terrifying as a child. I just like, why do people get this thing off the screen? But you gotta love Pee Wee Herman dance, and when he used to ride his bicycle, the music from that show was fantastic. Very underrated portion of that program. He's a childhood icon. You know, he's up there with the likes of Ernest Goes to Camp and all those movies. Just Pee Wee Herman was just a part of being a kid. He was an entertainer, and then you hear about what happened later on in life. You know, with what he did at those adult theaters. It's just, you know, he's a human like everybody else, but because he was based in the child entertainment industry, it's sad.
Let's go to some comments here. Excuse me. Scrolling back here a little bit. Sorry, folks. They're coming through a little quick there. Dana says, not really. They probably have all IEPs or 529s or some sort of special exemption from state standards in this situation. That's a good point, Dana. I didn't get a lot of that information in the articles that I read. I read 3 or 4 earlier today, and I didn't see any of that. But that's good. Good point. Mary says that's my problem. A lot of money and no results. Says R.I.P. Paul Rubens for a lot of folks out there. R.I.P. Pee Wee says Aaliyah. Katarina says, damn, you so right. I'm assuming she's saying it in terms of it comes in threes. Shelton says, amen. Mary Ballard says, my mom was a church secretary 20 years, all in threes. And Danielle says, okay, am I the only one who remembers his creepiness at the movie theater? Like, everyone is like, he was such a great man, but like, okay. But I would say, Danielle, to that, none of us are all of anything. We're all made of different parts. And so, go ahead.
I just want to push back on the fact that he was a creep. He was an adult in a consenting situation. It wasn't like he was doing it to somebody. He was, that's what the theaters are there for. You they used to have them all over the country. You go in, you watch the movie. What happens in there happens in here. It doesn't make him.
He just so happened to be famous.
Yeah, that's the only thing I push back on his. Like, it wasn't like he was targeting people. But even if you wanted to keep the creepiness label on him, all right, fine. He was masturbating in an adult movie theater by himself with a box of popcorn. Yes, disgusting. But none of us are all of one thing. I'm not just an excellent comedian. Deon's not just an excellent comedian. We're other things as well, and some of it ain't good. Like I just said, the word ain't. That's one of the things. I can't let that bad habit go. So that's something that will probably be put in paper when I go. So when I was a teenager, I had grape flavored condoms. I mean, nobody's
that's definitely going in your bit. Not only did Deon Curry die today, but so did the grape flavored condom industry.
I never bought one. I had one.
We bury 2 icons today.
I wasn't even in the military. They played steps.
What I would remember Pee Wee Herman / Paul Rubens for is the dude was seriously talented. And one of my favorite films is damn it, just fucking left me just that fucking fast. I almost called it the wrong fucking movie. Oh my God, the movie with Johnny Depp, Blow. And Paul plays a great role in that. And he plays some other nice roles in some good movies as well. He wasn't just Pee Wee Herman. I hate that this man is leaving the earth being called Pee Wee Herman and only known as being Pee Wee Herman. He was a seriously talented dude who had made some missteps, including, rubbing his own penis in a theater.
I don't see, but that's the thing though. It's not really that.
It's a misstep. I mean, that's all I say. It's a misstep.
Is it?
You're famous. You cannot be in a public setting. If you want to do that at home,
why not?
You are famous.
What does that? Okay, that doesn't. How is that any different from you doing it in the
First
theater?
of all, I wouldn't be doing it in the theater.
I'm just saying, like you, the average person, how it wouldn't be a misstep for you if you were.
I would like to think it would be a misstep for me. I think if it was in the Phoenix paper, Sidney Smith was really like.
It wasn't like he got arrested for it. I mean,
I think he might have got arrested. Didn't he get arrested for it?
I don't remember if he got arrested.
I don't think you're supposed to do that. I don't think you can do that. I think you can get arrested
in a porno theater. I'm pretty sure that's why they built them, so that you would go there and do that. They're not just showing these movies to be showing these movies.
Mary, in true Mary Ballard fashion, pops in with, I hated Pee Wee. Now I think Pee Wee's death should be looked at again. Circumstances should be like that. Were you in the building?
Jesus.
Says, I know you are, but what am I? Katarina says, the girl in the first movie was the voice for Tommy Pickles. Oh, nice little tidbit there. And Mary says, there was nothing I liked about him. Nothing. All right, Mary, we got you. Marshawn says it was the dance. Danielle says, oh, wait, it was an adult theater. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with an adult theater. I thought it was just a regular theater. I like that once Danielle finds out porn was on the screen, she's okay with it. It changes. Only Danielle. Only Danielle.
He wasn't beating his meat to land before time. Like, ooh, I love when this dinosaur dies. Like, no.
That Brad Pitt and Legends Before the Fall.
I can't wait till they get to the cornfield scene, the field of dreams. Like, no.
Says, nah, I remember that too. It was hard to move past that because I was young and he made an impression on me, you know? Yeah, Sid, I get it. We were all young. I remember when it happened, we were all like, what? Ugh. Because, you know, we really didn't understand any of that. But looking back on it, for me, it was, and obviously the Deon was not that big of a deal for us. Mary says, I wonder if great condoms still exist. Mary, I'm going to scroll on from that. And Facebook user says, Blow is my number one favorite movie. I'm not sure
That's
who said
Chelsea.
that. Chelsea. That's such a good movie. I got a lot of personal feelings about it, which I'll share another day, maybe on the podcast. But yeah, it's one that when it gets closer towards the back quarter of it, even though I've seen it a million times, my heart kind of goes out to the dude.
I don't think I've seen it all the way through. I should probably watch it.
Yeah, check it out. It's an excellent movie. Aaliyah says he was still human. Yes, he was. Mary says the cops didn't even know who he was. He told them and then attempted to bribe them.
Okay, what's wrong? What's wrong with that, Mary? Why you hating on Pee Wee? He was arrested. Okay, all right, fine.
Yep, there you go. Sid's throwing it down. Sid's giving me the Wikipedia over here. He says he was in Gotham. He was in Gotham. You're right. A fantastic artist, and man, what man doesn't touch himself? Just a bad judgment call for the location. Hell, he was probably depressed.
I don't think it's a bad decision because I mean he was in the theater where that's what they designed the theater for. You don't go and watch the entire film without. That's like going to the strip club but not getting a lap. Like what you? That's the reason you go.
I didn't know it was gonna bring up a little venom here. Dana says, I agree, Mary. His voice and laugh annoying as fuck. And Daniel says hashtag teen porn. And Facebook user says they still have them in Phoenix. LOL. I don't know who said that. Is that Chelsea?
You know it's Chelsea.
Katarina, thanks for jumping in. We'll see you next week. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching the show. Man, it was good, man. I love that we got so much out of the To Catch a Predator. I didn't think we stayed on that long.
It's so weird because, you know, I hadn't seen or thought about that show in years and years. And then yesterday, it just started popping up in my Facebook reels. I'm like, did it know that I was hanging around with my nephew and his how all of a sudden is this on my phone? That's can't hang out with my nephew no more. I don't like that.
Snitch.
I don't like that.
Bro, what's your what the hell this week?
My what the hell this week is what the hell's up with the weather? Is it ever going to get cool again? I am tired of being hot, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. I would much rather be hot than cold. But at some point, we need to turn the oven light off. You know what I mean? Like, just bring it. Can I get some rain for 2-3 days to bring these temperatures down just a little bit? The humidity in the Midwest, Sidney, you remember it. You know, there's a dry heat down there in the desert, and y'all been hitting triple digits for God knows how many days in a row.
120.
Man, yeah, that's. I mean, you can. That's preheating the oven. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, like here in the Midwest, it's just been so humid and hot and sticky, and I don't like sweating immediately, and I can't leave. Every time I crack my car windows, it rains. Right? It doesn't matter if there's no rain in the forecast. So obviously, the one time I leave my windows down, it thunderstorms at night while I'm sleeping, and then I go out to a wet car. So my what the hell is just get the weather in check. Let's bring the temperatures down just a little bit. I'm all for global warming. Keep it. I don't mind 70s and 80s, but this 90, 100 shit, y'all keep that.
I don't have anything too crazy for what the hell, other than what the hell is with people's driving. Why can't people just be courteous? And not only when you drive, why can't you be courteous in the mall? Why can't you walk on the right side of the aisle? Why can't you push your cart in the right side of the aisle at Costco? Why can't you just be a decent person and maybe let someone else go? I feel like when at Costco, I'm seeing exactly how people drive their cars on the street. Like everybody is rude. Everybody can't be an offensive driver. You just can't be. And everybody can't be in a hurry. Just slow your asses down. In Arizona and Phoenix, we see more collisions because people are trying to speed through a yellow light or make a turn when they're not supposed to make a turn. People driving the wrong way because you're not paying attention. Just be a courteous individual every once in a fucking while. Just every once in a while. It will make everybody's life a whole lot better, and it'll make this 120-degree weather we all got to live in out here much more bearable. Stop being an asshole.
I second that.
That's what people need to teach their kids. Just don't be an asshole. Jesus. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. We got in, we got out. You guys were awesome. Great for being master debaters for us. We do appreciate you. Deon Curry, Sidney Smith. You guys have a great week.
Thank you, guys. Make sure you hit that share button.
Absolutely. I can never get us off of here in time. Where's the mouse? This is so frustrating.
You smoke crack, don't you? Close the show, Sidney.
Mr. Sims.
Mrs. Sims.
Joe, I can't get it on the screen.
Unplug the cord.